Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of The Lost Chapters. This is episode 7. I actually remember this time. My name is Roman, and on the other side of the line, we got.
It's John.
Alright, so you will notice when you actually hear this or see this that there's going to be a certain amount of disconnect, just because, internet kind of desyncs a lot of shit. But in any case, we're going to start the episodes like we always do. And we're going to start off with some hobby progress. John, why don't you kick it off?
So for hobby progress, I'm almost done with my 2K custodes list. Um, I need one of my elite choices, and I forgot the name of them. But basically, it's a unit. It starts off with the base of three, and it's like three HQs in a elite's choice unit. They can take Paragon blades the way that a HQ would be able to. Um, Pretty expensive unit, but I mean, you only need one of them, so
Mm-hmm.
um, and I've been trying to finish off my 10 Black Knights for my vampire counts,
Okay.
because as soon as I have five of them done, I'm working on the other five.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as the all 10 of them are done, like that, my vampire counts list is good to go.
Nice. Yeah. Anything else?
That's pretty much it
Okay.
from since last time. That's pretty much it.
Okay. I mean, well, I guess we count buying stuff as hobby progress. So, do you want to mention that in?
In that case, this is gonna be a long fucking tirade because I have self-control issues,
Yes, you do.
and I pretty much now have I pretty much now have somewhere within the realm of 3K for Mechanicum.
Okay.
Just a bunch of different things, a bunch of different robots.
Mm-hmm.
I decided my trader Mechanicum
Mm-hmm.
force is gonna be just robots, like no servitors or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
Um, so I got I got about 3K, including um my knight for my Lord of War. It comes out to about 3K.
Very cool. So what else did you buy anything else?
I bought the other Terminators for um custodes because I had the flamethrower ones. Now I have the regular uh same unit but with a different gun because
Mm.
it's two different um what do we call it? It's two different boxes. Even though it's the same unit, one comes with the flamethrowers and claws, and the other one comes with the gun and the power fist. So
Hmm. Yeah.
I have six Terminators now for custodes.
Nice. Um, as for hobby progress for me, there's a lot actually. I'm just in the middle of finishing off the last few characters or the last few models for Caesar. I'm painting up his Infinity stuff. Once I was able to kind of bend the rules of like kind of like what he set for me, I was able to crank him out a little bit more, like a little bit faster. Um, I can relatively now paint like okay speed. I can always, of course, get faster, but I'm getting a little bit quicker as I'm having to do more and more commissions for some people. So I'm doing that. Um, I assembled, primed, and did paint some of the main colors for my Adeptus Titanicus, which the I know the Legio for the Titans is Legio Osidax, and then the uh, Night House is House Tyrannus, I believe is what it is. It's the same color scheme as Osidax, so they're gonna basically have the same color scheme no matter what. So I'll be using those in concert with each other. So I was able to paint main colors for 3 of the Questoris Knights, and then 2 of the Cerastus, the ones with the shield and the lance. Um, so I was able to paint the main colors on those, which they're blue and white, which I kind of offset to a cream, and the blue is more like a turquoise, like more like this. So I love turquoise. So anytime I can work turquoise into any of my color schemes, I'm fucking in like sin, baby. Doesn't even matter. But I actually had done another few things. I can actually show you right here. I think I showed that I was printing out terrain, and I've actually painted. Maybe I should, you could see that I've painted some of the terrain. So this is a dreadnought that I had, a ruined dreadnought that I painted up, and it is in Imperial Fist colors because neither one of us plays Imperial Fists, or nobody I know plays Imperial Fists. So it would look good on the table, like coming in to uh, help fellow loyalist brothers. I did finally put together, finish putting together um, Archaon for fantasy. So this model isn't supposed to be in Warhammer Fantasy, but I was able to finish it off. It is a gigantic model. So
Dog.
yeah, so I was able to put him, and then I have a little square base, which I have a little scenic idea that I'm probably going to put on there. And then, of course, the big man himself with his shield off, because, of course, I want to paint without the shield so I can get all those little details. Um, what else? What else? I do a lot of stuff, guys. I'm trying to remember what else I've done. Oh, I because of a little deal that me and John had worked out. He was going to place an order for some things. I didn't have the money at the time, so he spotted me, some money, and in return, when I did have the money, instead of me just PayPaling it to him, I showed him a website of some scenery because I know he had been looking to build up his own personal table. So I was able to purchase the ones that he wanted, and I'm printing them out on my 3D printer. Now, because I have just a kind of stock at the moment Ender 3 printer, it's pretty loud, so I just ordered a silent board. So it's like under $40 on Amazon, and it should be coming in by the time you hear this. It should have it, so I'm gonna try to install it, and I'm hoping that it's quiet enough that I can honestly print in my sleep. That would be cool. But I did want to show John that I have started printing out some of his stuff. So as you can see, that's a little piece of I guess it's the bottom floor or something, or maybe it's like the balcony on like the second floor and stuff. So it's probably that, to be honest with you. It's not the best quality of what I can actually turn out because there is some warping. So that means I have to like level. I just have to troubleshoot a little bit. But honestly, when it's all glued together and painted up, it's gonna look just as good. Um, oh, before I get into stuff that I bought, because I actually have bought a fuckload of shit. I wanted to show John this. So, a long time ago, John had wanted me to paint up this. It is a creature caster. Pretty.
Kiss together.
He is together completely. Look at his hand right there. I still have to do a lot of gap filling. Like I have to do some green stuff and like fill in a lot of his gaps. But I also wanted to show you that if I can get it on there. He's magnetized.
Nice.
And I magnetized his other weapon option, which is a little flail.
Fuck yeah.
So,
Look at that fucking fat boy.
if just a little history, John actually bought this like 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. I just did not get to it because I am a person that works best under pressure. And if you give me a deadline, I will hit the deadline. If you do not give me a deadline, I'm going to say fuck it and I'm not going to do it. So, about 2 or 3 years later, I was able to actually finish assembly. I do have to do a lot of gap filling for it. So, as I get to it, I will give updates. Um, but one of the things that I did want to um, the reason I'm doing this is because there was a time where I wanted to do Emperor's Children for Heresy, and it was just about the time that Book 8 had gone, uh, had just gone up. So it might have been like just 2 years ago. So Book 8 just came out. Demons were a thing. So me and John were like, all right, cool. I've never really played demons, but I've always loved Slanesh. So buy me these three like figures that I can use as brutes, and I'll paint up this thing for you. So that's kind of just a little story of why I even have that for John. But that actually leads into probably the first thing, probably the most exciting thing I want to talk about. On eBay, I told this to John yesterday. So you know that the hardcover Horus Heresy campaign books are out of print. They're just not. They're not doing it anymore. They're reprinting them, but in soft covers. The only thing is that I have already book 1 and book 9 in hardcovers, and I don't want to get soft covers. Like I don't want to do that. So you know, as we all do, we go on eBay and trying to see what we got. So I went on there and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to see what book 2 is going for, Massacre. So I look for one. I see a good one, and it says $210 with free shipping. But at the bottom you see those three beautiful words, or best offer. So I go ahead and I message him. I'm on my computer. I put in I look at what they're going for, like what they've completed and sold for in the last month or so. Then I make them an offer, trying to see if I can, get it for the best price I can. You know what I mean? That's what we all try to do. So I message him. It's immediately, declined. So I'm like, oh, okay, it was just way too low for the price point. It's kind of all I wanted to spend at the moment. So I was okay. That's fine. I'll just keep on watch on it and kind of see what happens. Um, Maybe an hour later, if that, I look at my emails just because I see that there's the notifications, and if you're anything like me, you see those notifications and you're like, "Fuck, I gotta clear them." So I went in there, tried to clear them, and I see eBay, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And the guy had made me an offer, and I was like, "Okay, if the offer is not too crazy, let's see if it's below, or if it's at 150, which is kind of the going rate for that particular book." I was like, okay, I'll think about it. You know what I mean? It has an expiration time on it, which is usually like 2 days, 48 hours. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just look at it, and I look at it, and I could not click buy it now fast enough. I just couldn't do it. I just fucking like immediately was like, yeah, no, it's a great deal. I don't know why, because the book looks in great condition. Maybe it's he just wants to get rid of it, something. But he made me an offer for $100, which is 52% less than what he actually was asking for to begin with. So I don't know what happened, but I paid for it. Of course, him as a seller can always back out and not send it to me. Then eBay will just refund the money, whatever. I'm hoping that it goes through because that's just one more book that I can get. Um, I can, as of right now, I think book 3 and book 7 are still hardcover from Forge World, so I'm really thinking about getting those as well. But then the hard part starts coming in, where I'd have to get book 4, 5, 6, and 8. And if you know Heresy, those are some of the most popular and probably the four most expensive books in the Heresy campaign. So I'm not looking forward to it. I'm hoping, and I always thought about this. Why doesn't Forge World do limited runs? You know what I mean? Like Black Library always does limited runs, but they'll bring back, hardcovers for the Horus Heresy novels. So they'll do that, and they're like, for 2 weeks, this is uh, what we're doing. So you can pre-order these for 2 weeks, and then we're going to print them out, and then we're going to ship them. That's it. So I always thought, why don't they do that with the hardcovers? Because they guarantee how many they're going to sell in that 2 week block. And I guarantee you'd make a lot of money because a lot of people are looking for these books. Like, I'm not the only one. I got into it late, but there was people that got into it early and just didn't buy some of the books. So, Forge World, please, please, please do that. Other than that, I was able to buy table legs, and we'll talk about that later. I was able to buy some table legs. What else? What else? What else? Oh, me and John, uh, me and John ordered the Mournival books. So if you don't, we talked about them in the past. Mournival Events is an Australian, event guys that make these fan-made rule books. You saw the Eldar and the Necron one that I showed in past episodes when we came back from the hiatus. They have a greenskin one, and of course, John wants to play greenskins. So I asked him if he wanted one. So we went into a little order. We're getting the greenskin books and the actual Mournival Events book, which has fan-made units for all the different armies there. That for the armies that are there that are in the game currently, like Space Marines. The one that everybody loves is the Heavy Destroyer Squad. Everybody loves that just because it's so themey. You know what I mean? Destroyer squads didn't just use like one heavy weapon; they used fucking as many as they can carry. So of course, like a heavy destroyer squad. Now they're expensive, rightfully so. You're gonna be taking some big ass fucking weapons, but just a really cool idea. And there's more like that. What's up?
That they're in Terminator armor.
Yes, yes. You can also put them in Terminator armor. So, I mean, there's just like a ton of different cool things in that book. And like I said, if you are interested, go ahead and go to the OS30K um, Facebook group, and you can ask Andrew Hollis is the man's name. You can go ahead and message him and see if he has any of the books in stock, and he'll send them right out to you. In America, they're $50. Australian is 65. I don't know pounds, which again I don't know why. I don't think anybody that's in Britain would be listening to this. But yeah, just something to think about. On to more stuff that I bought because I bought some more stuff in the last couple of days.
Calm down, John.
Yeah, yeah. So recently, Necromunda, and I wanted to get Caldor. So Caldor is like one of the only gangs I was super interested in. They're Skaven like apparently. They're just fucking humans that just harvest trash and just fucking like weigh you down with bodies. And they have a fucking rat bomb, which they literally strap a bomb to a rat and just set it loose. It's fucking awesome. So I'm joining in. Will, you finally got me here, so I'm building a gang and we'll see where it goes. And then something that I was thinking if I wanted to keep secret or not. But I guess I'll talk about it right now. So I had mentioned in the last episodes that Eldar were the only race that I was looking into when I wanted to get into a Xenos race, and there we go. So I bought my first troop choice, which is Guardians. I'm most likely going to go with the Iandan um, color scheme, which is primarily yellow. and then it's a dark blue on accents, which of course I'm not going to use dark blue. I'm going to use some more turquoise. Come on, stupids. If you thought I would actually use blue, you fucking idiot. Uh, but yeah,
Why are you so gay?
I'm probably gonna go with Iandin. Oh, I mean, I might still try it. I might go with a magenta for accents as well, because another one of my favorite colors is the Screamer Pink. I think it's a really good dark magenta, so I might go with that as well. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna start Eldar. Mark, who we'll talk about in a little bit, is actually starting up some Dark Eldar, and we're gonna play some Seventh Ed, uh, good old fashioned Eldar Civil War. Now it is Seventh Edition. Eldar are extremely broken, so I'm gonna try to mitigate that on myself so that it's an actual game instead of me just shooting them off the table. Because Dark Eldar weren't great at 7th edition. So we'll see how that turns out. But I believe that is it for hobby progress. I haven't painted anything for myself specifically. Just printing out some terrain for me and John, working on commissions, which I'm going to start another commission. Hopefully, by the time this comes up, I'll be posting it on Red Star as well as my Instagram. If you want to follow there, I feel really weird about plugging shit like that. But it's Instagram.com/romantics88, or maybe just romantics. You'll see my dumb face on there. So um, either way, I post my daily, hobby progress because of course I have doing the hobby streak challenge and just seeing how long I can go. I'm closing in on a year, so I'm kind of excited and kind of seeing what that is. But I'm going to be starting up our buddy Scott. Uh, he is having me paint some custodies. So I'll be painting up some Custodes tanks, the grav tanks. I believe some of the dreadnoughts. I don't remember which one is which, but it's the fighty type. And then uh, the big Mamma Jamma, which I'm actually kind of excited about painting. Um, I don't remember it, but it's that gigantic ship. Like, I mean gigantic. It's probably like this big. So it's like maybe like 14 inches wide, 15 inches like wide. It's fucking ridiculously big. It's probably like a full 8 pounds. It's like a gallon of milk basically. So yeah, I'm excited about painting that though because it's such a fucking ginormous piece. But that's it for hobby progress. We'll move on to games played. So John, why don't you start off there because you probably played a lot more games than I have.
Um, well, aside from Crisis, which Eric talked about, um, or will talk about, whatever.
Yeah, we have an interview coming
Uh,
up soon.
yeah, we have an interview coming up. So I'll let Eric cover the Crisis Protocol.
Mhm.
But I did play 30K against Mark,
Okay.
um, which was a fun game for me because the last time I played against Mark, we played 8th edition, and his custodes kind of pushed my shit in.
Yeah.
So this time he used custodes in 30K, which custodes in 30K are even stronger than they are in 40K, and so he had a pretty good list. He
Mhm.
had the heavy custodes, some troops choices. He had an HQ, and he had Gravis tank. And I was playing Thousand Suns, and I think it was my first time like really playing the Thousand Suns.
Mhm.
I can't. I don't. Yeah, I think it was actually. No, it's my second game with the Thousand Suns.
Okay.
I did play a game against Mike Brown.
Mm.
I played with my Thousand Suns against Mike Brown. That was like a year ago
Yeah.
against the World Eaters. That was a fun game.
Mhm.
Um, but I took Thousand Suns and I was like, oh man, like These are both two very elite armies, Thousand Sons. They pay a big tax for all the psychic powers.
Mhm.
So I knew what I had to do. I just had to make them fucking roll so much dice, so try to get those ones. Um, and That's what I did. I was throwing fireballs, um, and I used divination to like give myself a lot of attacks
Mhm.
and raise my initiative. And I made them roll so many dice that eventually I just knocked them off the fucking table. Um, that was a very fun game. I think even for Mark, even on the losing side, he had a lot of fun. He threw a lot of dice. And Custodes fucking God, they survived so much fucking shit.
They do.
I think with like I think I remember I Pride of the Legion once.
Mhm.
Um, and so like at rapid fire with a 10-man unit that's 20 shots. Pride of the Legion that becomes 40 shots. And on that one he tanked every single shot. Like he did not roll a one. And I was just like devastated. I was just like, fuck. Like how is the rest of this game gonna look after that?
Yeah.
And I just fucking between the psychic powers and the shooting and the little bit of close combat that I got into because I was obviously scared of close combat with them. Like
Mhm.
I just
As you
die
should be.
after die after die. Yeah, and eventually it was just enough ones. Custodes, they're like 3-man units, and so eventually that third man's gonna fall. But it was a very good game. I enjoyed that very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, I was there, of course, because it was in my in the backyard. So we had set up some tables, and that's why I was saying that tables play into it because um, we had a couple of tables that we were able to put for 4x4 games because we had planned for 1250 games, and it quickly got me thinking that I need to build a table of my own. Originally, I was gonna build like a whole wooden table, and was talked out of it by my brother because he's like, "Bro, if you want to do this, this is gonna be a fucking heavy table that we're not gonna be able to move." So I was like, "Okay, yeah, yeah, all right, good point." I was able to find. I don't remember what they're called. They're like H um, folding table legs, I believe is what they're called. Um, Basically, they're just extendable table legs, so it'll actually go up to a little over 3 feet. So it's actually pretty good. Like it's right there, right where we had the last tables, which was a good height, so that we're not like arching over, like straining our backs because we're just gonna get fucking older, and our backs are gonna go more to shit. So hopefully with that table, I'm also gonna get just like some regular sanded plywood, probably varnish it, and then set it up top, and it should be golden from there. Um, but I guess is there any other games played before we get into ours?
Uh, no, that was it. I played Erik Protocol. I played Mark 30K, and then I played you.
All right. So me and John played
That's pretty
some.
much it for me.
Me and John played Warhammer 40K. That's right, people. We actually played a game of 40K. But you're wrong in thinking if it would be ninth edition because we just weren't interested. We played some good old fashioned 7th edition because, of course, me and him have a fondness for it. It's where we started. We didn't get to play nearly enough, and I'll be damned if anybody's gonna tell me how to enjoy my hobby. So I'm gonna play old games if I want to play old games. So when it was my Dark Angels, which was kind of a Green Wing slash a little bit of a Raven Wing contingent. Um, so I was able to build a 1250 list, and it was against John's. I don't remember what you played.
I played Chaos Space Marines.
What exactly?
I played for troops. I took uh, cultist. Um, and then I had my fucking Demon Prince because seventh edition was the last time the Demon Prince was fucking good. He had the fucking black Mace. He was Marco Nurgles, so he had fucking shrouding. He was Biomancer, so he was fucking strong. I played some Plague Marines. I played a Hell Turkey, which was great to finally play him again. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm. Big ol'.
Um, I used a yeah, I used a regular sorcerer without marks, and he just summoned demons. Um, and I think that was my 1250 list. The Demon Prince alone was like 400 points.
Yeah,
I think it was
dude.
like 365.
Yeah, of course he was. He was a fucking pimped out HQ, which I might add got shot to fuck, and I killed him. Just like you'll hear about Erik maybe taking down one of John's key pieces with a saber tooth. Fucking everything I had was put at that Demon Prince, which I think I made the right decisions and just targeting him by turn two. I was able to get him off the table by literally shooting everything I had at him. Literally everything. I had two troops, two tac marines, which are the Dark Vengeance, so you know they're plasmid out. Um, I had two dreadnoughts, one venerable and one regular, both kitted out for shooting, shooty. And then I had a unit of attack bikes with or no, a unit of uh, Space Marine bikes with an attack bike with a multi melta. So by turn two, I was able to shoot the Demon Prince off the table. Luckily, I was able to do that. Um, and then it was, I forget which mission it was, but it was basically each deployment zone had a objective, and if you secured the other person's, it was 3 points. If you just kept yours, it was one. So you're just trying to do that. I was able to get first blood. No, John was able to get first blood, but I was able to get Slay the Warlord. So we were tied up then. Um, we were both hanging on to, at the very end, after everything, I was able to turbo boost my bike to get the 1 point for line breaker, and I was able to pull it out. But turns out Hell Turkeys, maybe it's just John's Hell Turkey because it's not painted, fucking sucks. It was supposed to take down one lonely biker that eventually did win me the game. Couldn't do it. Just couldn't fucking do it at all. I think he wounded me once with the template, with some other things in the way, and of course the bike survived. Boom, boom. But the thing about seventh edition is just, I mean, that's the game it was. Now, whether not saying that it's perfect, it has its problems, but honestly, it was just a really fun game, and it was the very first time that I played a game in a literal year. The last game I played was early February, and it was the same thing here. Early February. It might have been, if I fucking check the dates of like some of the pictures I took, I'm pretty sure it was a year apart. So it was insanely crazy that I went a whole year playing without actually playing the game that I loved. So it's weird, um, but it did super uh, invigorate me to, like, for one, build a table for more games, and start working on my 30K stuff so we can play 30K. Like, I'm just starting to get like so many more ideas and like trying to pump them out. Just trying to get shit assembled at least so we can play some gray plastic. I don't give a fuck. Um, but yeah, it was really fun. I don't know about what John's take on that was.
I had a good time. It was it was the 40K that I remember falling in love with.
Hmm. Yeah. So, um, fuck plague marines because they just don't die. Fuck them. I don't even want to think about them anymore. But for the most part, it was just a really fun game. Surprisingly, not too many things died on my end. Of course, TAC Marines died because they're just what happens. But surprisingly, like my Dreadnoughts, well, he didn't have anything to really fuck with my Dreadnoughts besides the Demon Prince. And when I was able to take that down, I knew that I had a lot more breathing room. I knew I just had to ignore the Hell Turkey. There's no other way for me to play, especially like in a 1250 game. There's not, I can't take like any missile launchers to like skyfire at the bitch. Um, so it's hard to deal with it. So I just fucking chill shooting like whatever. It's just gonna fucking burn some Marines. I can't fucking help it. But it was really fun to play the game that I love. So much so that like I started looking at other like things that I wanted to buy specifically for 40k for 7th edition 40k. Vindicators for one. You know, Vindicators have the APAC APOC blast template. You know what I mean? Like the fucking 24-inch, 2 foot fucking blast template that they can do once per game. If you have three of them, they just fucking like
It's
whatever.
not even. No, 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 sir. No, it's not once per game.
It's
You can
not.
do it every fucking turn.
Oh
No,
my
you can do it
god.
every turn. You just all three Vindicators have to be alive because
Yeah.
they're concentrating their fire on
Yeah.
one target.
Oh, I thought it was a once per game. Oh my god.
No, so you can do
And
it every fucking turn.
and I saw one at HR today. I saw one at Heroes Retreat today, and I was like, "How much is this?" And it was,
Oh, fuck! I didn't even tell you.
mm,
Jay found Jay, I fucking love you.
mhm.
Jay found his APOC templates and he's giving them to us.
Awesome. Hey, awesome. I mean, I you could have them because I just bought mine. One thing that I forgot, there's the Alien World San Pedro still has, for some weird reason, they have just older templates there. I guess just to kind of sell for anybody that wants them. And guess what? This dumbass wants old shit. So of course I fucking had to message John to see if he had any of the templates. I did not have them, so I bought them. It was the Barrage, which is the four small templates, or not small, I guess the medium size, um, or large. I guess it's four large kind of stapled together, so it makes barrages easier. Um, so that was pretty cool. I got the APOC one, and again, like I'm like really wanting to finish painting my 40k Dark Angels. And I did buy the ninth edition Codex. I have looked at it. Some things are cool. Some things I don't like, but I understand why they did them. One of the main ones was Samael can't take his Sableclaw Land Speeder anymore. They don't have a model for it, and the model is basically the Talon Master. So like I understand why they did it, but it still sucks because I wanted to make a custom Samael on a what's the 30k, the javelin attack speeder. I wanted to do that and take like another one, but guess what? I'm playing 7th edition. I can just fucking make it and have it, so I'm gonna do it anyway. I just can't use it in ninth edition. I will say that I am hesitant to play Dark Angels in ninth edition because there is some broken shit in there that I don't like doing that. I don't like playing that way. Um, it doesn't ever seem like a game if you just blow somebody out the water. And Deathwing is fucking strong. I don't know if they're broken. I would say they're broken, but again, I don't play, so I don't have my commentary is not coming from an experience. Just looking at them, they seem fucking broken, but they're very strong. For just we know that they're strong. They basically are super survivable with 3 wounds each. The knights can smack anything in combat, um, especially the master or like the sergeant equivalent flail. None of the damage is lost; it just spills over to any of the other enemy unit. So they're a problem. They can be a big problem. I'm expecting an FAQ fairly soon to kind of see how that affects them. Because once they're kind of nerfed, I will then I'll play them happily in Ninth Edition. I am planning to play a game of Ninth Edition with Mark because he wants to play some more games before he leaves town, because he will be leaving town uh, sometime this year. So he wants to get some more games in. I'm happy to oblige, even if it's Ninth Edition. Just I want to roll some dice. So if anything, I will be updating you when I do play Ninth Edition and see what happens there. Anything else you want to talk about before we get to our little interview with Erik?
I do actually have to get in a couple of games of Ninth Edition with my Death Guard,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm going to be the ringer again for Alamo,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know shit about Ninth Edition, so I should probably learn a little bit of something before I go and take on that responsibility.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to have a game of Ninth Edition just to try it out, I have 2,000 points. You have 2,000 points. If you want me to be more competitive, so that you know like what you'll be facing there, or if you just want to have kind of a fuck around game with Ninth Edition, just let me know. I'll build up a list. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Um,
It doesn't. I mean, you can play competitively. You can play non-competitively. We could even do a couple of games, like
mhm,
one of each.
mhm,
But actually, they changed the rules for the ringer.
mhm.
If you're playing against the ringer, you no longer get the points that you get against the ringer. You get like the average points of everybody else. Um, so like if the average, because you score out of 100, right?
Yeah.
So if the average points is 50, then that's how much you get, regardless of what me and you played. Like you play the ringer
Mhm.
just for fun, basically.
Okay. Okay.
Um, my understanding of it,
Okay.
uh, which is, I think it's a little bit dumb, but
Yeah, we all have
I
our.
think if you're gonna elect to play the ringer, go ahead.
I mean, we all have our opinions on the way that
Yeah,
Texas is choosing to enact their kind of tournament policies. We're gonna we are going to use those policies just to kind of see if it's something that we can work with. If not, we'll see what happens. But again, that's a discussion for another time. Maybe we can get David on and actually talk about some of that stuff. Since David is our friend, the most competitive player I know of, personally, on a personal level, good guy. Just I don't know if I could ever play a game with him. I know I wouldn't even offer a challenge, and it just wouldn't be fun. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm down to play whatever, even if it's Ninth Edition. I have to give Ninth Edition like a good shake. You know what I mean? I have to before I can comment on anything that oh, this should change, this should change. I need to play some games, so I'm down for that. And I guess that's it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut to a interview that we have with our buddy Erik, and we're gonna talk about Crisis Protocol there. And then when we come back, we will be talking about some Heresy stuff that me and John have in the works, especially with some list kind of things. But be right back. Hey guys, and we are now joined by our special guest. Why don't you say hi?
Hey, it's your boy Erik.
Hate
You know me from
that
the City
boy.
Podcast.
I hate him so much.
Yeah.
But uh, you know, we already told you last time that Erik was going to join us, so you can talk about Marvel Crisis Protocol. I still haven't played it. I don't know anything about it, but that's why Erik's here. So Erik, I want to start off the way we always do. Hobby progress. What have you done in the hobby lately?
Hobby lately, I actually slowed down a little bit because I got sick and I felt like shit. But the last thing I did do was I bought a couple more characters, which was Wolverine and Sabretooth. Now,
fuck Sabretooth.
Sabretooth, oh, we'll get into that later because John's a little salty about it. Um, yeah, this is the progress I have on it. Let's see, how do I flip this thing? There we go. So, as you can tell, with Wolverine, I decided to go with his Weapon X alternative costume instead of just the regular yellow and black.
You mean X
Just
Force?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
What did I say? Weapon X?
Yeah.
Oh, Weapon X is naked, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could have drawn. I could have
Yeah,
put him
Weapon X is
naked.
naked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then for Sabretooth, I went with the lesser known Marvel vs. Capcom 2 alternative costume. Which, funny fact, I only did those little highlights because Roman was helping me out with a new technique, and I realized it wasn't my style or the technique I like using. I'm more of a globin, and his is more precise and layered. So I remember I talked to you and to see uh, when we could finish this off. Just needed to paint his hands here the same color as the chest.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I will hopefully be able to help you out in like probably the next week or so.
yeah, yeah. Because other than that, I just worked on my Magneto, who for some reason John's scared of, and this is just
I'm not scared of him. I just make sure that I kill him using all of my characters as quickly as I can. It's not fear.
yeah. And since I barely started with this, I played a little bit more with these constructs to give it that kind of like corroded look because it's metal, and for some reason I didn't want to leave this black, so I decided to make it be like a door that goes to like a little Honda or something, which I kind of hoped something destroyed a
Yeah.
little piece of shit Ford Fiesta,
There you go.
and then did these little corrosion effects on the bottom of the copper
All
that
right.
John just happened to have. Yeah.
Nice.
Other than that, first fucking go at layering the white. See, I was gonna leave Sabretooth kind of like the white on the on Taskmaster's cape, but I decided to go with the way you showed me, um, just to see the difference. I honestly like the way yours made it look because it's just a primer with the white kind of like dry brushed on there, and it could add depth, depth, depth,
Depth.
depth. Yeah,
Yeah.
depth to it
Mhm.
rather than just give it that solid color.
Mhm.
But I haven't had any more figures to paint recently because still trying to work out this deal with somebody that John knows on
Okay.
getting Beast and Mystique. I'm gonna go hardcore blue on that. Just
You
blue
know,
everything.
I was just at I believe it was I it was either Dragon's Lair Medical Center or maybe it was
I'm rich.
Heroes. No, no, no. It was Medical Center, Dragon's
Uh
Lair,
huh.
or Heroes Retreat. I was there today, and I saw the Beast and Mystique, and I was like, I mean, Beast is part fucking Illuminati. He's smart enough to be in the Illuminati, so of course I'd want him for that. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
about getting him, but then again, like I, it it's cool that you can get like these like the 2 packs. You know what I mean? But I don't care about Mystique at all. So like I don't know what I do, and I kind of understand why they do it because if you buy 1 pack, you can have like a hero force and a villain force. It's usually like hero villain kind of thing. Usually,
Pretty much, yeah.
I know that there's like the what are the helpers or like the underlings for Thanos? What are they
I don't
called?
even know what they're called.
Oh, I know
Or
one of
like the
them stepped
dark
in black,
something, or
I know one of
and the
them's.
other one
I know
is
one of them's Proxima Midnight.
Proxima
and then
Midnight.
Corvus.
Yeah,
It's
Corvus.
Corvus Blackstar or something like that, and then
Mhm.
Ebony Maw, and then
Oh,
there's the
yeah.
big guy.
Mhm.
Forgot his name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like I know that those are like very few times they'll like uh, put 2 villains or like 2 heroes together. I have noticed that they're doing that more, like with the Inhumans. So you get like Crystal and Lockjaw, which again I don't want fucking Lockjaw. So, it,
I have not seen those.
yeah,
Like, are
those
they
were
gonna come out?
those just came out.
Those
I
are-
know I for sure saw those at Heroes Retreat. So they
Ooh.
have Lockjaw and Crystal, and I think the other one, it wasn't because I know it's Medusa and Black Bolt. I
Yeah.
It wasn't them.
Black Bolt.
Yeah, no, it wasn't them. It was the other two Inhumans. But they do have them there.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I
Actually,
did not know that they came out.
yeah. I'm looking for the Medusa and Black Bolt because I want the Black Bolt. So I'm like
Yeah.
with Marvel Crisis Protocol, since I'm like a big comic book fan, I'm not too much of a Marvel guy, but I do like certain things. So like I wanted the Illuminati. So it's like the smartest people in the Marvel universe kind of banding together, making this secret club to kind of do shit that other people don't want to do. So I
So
know,
like Reed Richards,
yeah, it's Reed Richards,
Tony
like
Stark.
Tony Stark, um, Professor X, um, Beast was in
Professor
there.
X is
Doctor
super
Strange.
intelligent.
Professor X, yeah, he's like super intelligent, and he's what, an
What?
alpha or omega class mutant.
Omega class. Is he Omega class?
Yeah, he's fucking like beastly. It's him, Magneto, and then like the other ones that like outshine him are
Jean
Jean
Grey.
Grey because when she has the Phoenix Force in her.
Yeah.
But like yeah, like she's an Professor X is an Omega class mutant. So
Oh, Professor X's son, the one that they made that show for.
Legion. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I know he's an Omega level.
yeah, for sure he's one of the
Mutant.
strongest. But like it's basically the strongest people. So like I know Beast was in one incarnation, um, Black Bolt's in another one, Black Panther's in another one. So like there's a whole bunch of different cool Captain America, of course. So I do,
Really?
yeah.
I would never thought of Captain America would be part of the Illuminati. Like
Well,
he would always be like the
that
upfront type of dude.
that's part of like one of my favorite fucked up Illuminati stories is Doctor Strange basically mind wipes him because they have to willingly destroy a planet. Like, oh no, they have to willingly destroy an entire universe so that they can save Earth. So, of course, Captain America would never go through with it. So,
You know?
yeah, they mind wipe his ass and like throw him out. Like, what would happen? And they just go and fucking blow up like an entire universe. It's fucking dope.
Jesus.
That's why I love the Illuminati. It's a fucked up situation with like all these like supposedly heroes, but you like have to. They're the ones that have to do like the fucked up things that nobody else wants to do.
The compromises.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fucking cool. Oh, if you want to read that, it's Jonathan Hickman's run on New Avengers. Go ahead and check that out. Little
Oh,
comic book tip for you.
fair enough. Comic Corner returning.
Yeah, I know. But I know.
Fair enough.
So that's what you've done for Hobby Progress, and you kind
Hobby
of
Progress, yeah.
teased some games played where Sabretooth fucking stomped a new asshole into John. So I want to hear about this.
Well, let me let me start off this story with the first time we played. Um, I did not have Sabretooth. I had the uh, Brotherhood group,
Mhm.
which was Toad, Magneto, uh, Toad, Magneto, Taskmaster. He's a rogue, so he could be
Oh yeah.
used to complete any group.
Hmm.
And Punisher. I had those four, and even though Punisher's not it, as long as more than half of your characters share the are part of that group,
Hmm.
you can technically use that group. So
Mm.
luckily, I had three out of the four. You know, that's three-quarters of the team. And John was pleasantly surprised. Like we were barely learning how to get the rules down, but he had his Kingpin, Loki, and no, not Kingpin. Who'd you have? Modoc, Loki.
Yeah, it's Kingpin, Modok, and Loki.
Right, that was your main ones, right? The first ones you started off with. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he quickly found out that Taskmaster is a beast with his attacks, because the ruling with this one is, or he has a special, or his attack for each damage that he deals, like actual damage that goes through,
Mhm.
he gets a power, and that power lets him do special abilities, to react
Yep.
to attacks coming to him and be able to counteract
Yeah, his
after attacks
photographic
resolve.
memory, like being able
Hmm.
to do all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and it also helps with like defensive rolls. So I hit John the first time, and I destroy his Loki, like one hit KO type of deal.
Yeah, it
You
was
know,
bad.
and and he was just like, "That's not fair." And I was like, "Yep." Now I have like 6 power on him,
Hmm.
and he's just like, "Whatever. I hate you." Right. So the first time we win,
I mean,
the first
first
time we
off,
played,
everybody knows dice fucking hate me, and Erik rolled like 3 fucking crits, which every crit explodes into another die roll,
Hmm.
yeah.
and then I saved nothing. I saved none of the fucking damage.
That
It was
sounds
bad. It
about
was
It
right.
bad for
all
Loki.
went through.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And so the first time we play, I beat all his characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, with them, you had 2 chances for them, or 1 chance to survive. So they have an A side and a B side. The A side is full power. B side is after damage, kind of like sometimes they get weaker, sometimes they get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
My guys kind of stay the same. They don't. They have the same amount of hit points. Uh, they still have those sweet ass moves, and it's just pretty balanced, in
Okay.
my opinion.
Okay.
While John's, like, his Modoc full power has 10 hit points, which is it's so fucking annoying to try and knock him down the first time. But after that, on his B side, he only has like 4 hit points. He's shit, and I could easily get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
And Kingpin, same thing. High hit points, full power. He loses a couple on B side.
Okay.
So first game we played, I annihilate him. I knock out all his characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Twice. And he barely got to knock out maybe Toad. Who Toad is just there for filler, kinda, just to have the brotherhood thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Magneto being the captain, what he does is he uses his projectile to throw. He comes in with constructs, so he gets even more superpowers. And if he throws something near a range of 3 or so of allied characters, I could choose which of those allies gets a superpower.
Mhm.
So he kind of juices up my characters
Mhm.
so they could do their big hits. Um, so I have my strategy down to where I kind of keep them in the background, and John's like, "This is bullcrap," and that's why he'll target Magneto first.
The
Second
way
game
it
we
goes
play,
is at the beginning of every turn, everybody gets an energy,
Mhm.
right? As guardians like Loki, they
Yeah.
get 2 energies because they're gods.
Okay.
So Magneto just comes in and is like, "Oh, cool! Everybody got an energy. Well, here, everybody gets 3 more."
I mean, he has to do his movement. He has to do his
Fuck
thing.
Magneto.
When he destroys like any construct that's in the vicinity, or any rubble or anything, if he tosses it, he could automatically, if it was around the area of one of his allied characters, he could give him a superpower.
Oh, okay.
That's just his constant captain's ability. Uh, but also, if you start off a thing and there's no metal constructs, which is the ones I showed you, like the Hyundai and the little beam, if they're not on there, you get to put them on the map about a range of 3 near him, and then he gets a superpower for each construct on the board. So he gets, at the beginning of the thing, he gets about 3 superpowers. So by the second turn, he could have upwards of 6 if he doesn't get hit. You know, and he's just dirty. He's dirty for real. I like him. I like him so much. Um, so the second game, we played 3 games all in all. I've only won one, and that's because I like knocking out characters. John here, he has more experience playing Warhammer, and I guess in Warhammer, you want to do missions, I guess.
Yeah, like
Yeah, you gotta play the objectives.
yeah, to win games, you got to play the
Objectives.
objectives. Yeah.
Yes. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to I'm playing checkers. He's trying to play chess,
Yeah.
or I'm playing chess and he's trying to play Chinese checkers,
Uh-huh.
which nobody knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's just moving stuff around.
Yeah, exactly. No one
Yeah,
actually knows how to play Chinese checkers unless
you're
you,
Chinese.
yeah. Or you actually learned from somebody that actually knows how to play. I know
Who's
nobody.
Chinese?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we should call James's wife, Colleen. And just see
Yeah,
what's
well,
up.
she's Hawaiian, but but
I
it's
thought
in there.
I thought she was Hawaiian Chinese.
Hawaiian Japanese.
Japanese. Okay. Okay. My bad.
Yeah,
Apparently
so she
I'm
knows.
just a big old racist. I don't know.
Yeah, so she knows jujitsu and karate.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. She even went down to Brazil. Picked up some BJJ. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, Gabriel Jersey BJJ.
Blowjob James.
Anyways,
If you want more content like that, go
anyways,
check out City.
City Podcast. Yeah, that's where I have some of my best work with my boy Mark.
Yeah.
So, anyways, John has his clear objectives,
Mhm.
which I tried doing the last game we played, and we went with a 20 threat level, which is one of the highest games to play.
Mhm.
And I was just like, John, I think John had 20, right? Yours was straight up at 20.
Yeah,
You
mine
saw
was
your
at
character.
20. Yeah.
And who'd you have?
I
His
had
team was
I had Loki, I had um Kingpin,
Kingpin.
MODOK, and I had Green Goblin and Bullseye.
Bullseye.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that was his. Mine was 18, which was just Taskmaster, Sabretooth, Magneto, Punisher, and
Toad.
Toad. Toad was just there to filler it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I tried getting to the objective, but I couldn't. He got to it, and the way that mission worked is there's three possible areas where you could get the core, the Kree core,
Mhm.
and once someone picks it up, you get rid of the other rubble. So that person carries it, and now you have to kind of chase them
Mhm.
to try and get it away from them.
Okay.
That's exactly what he did. He ran away.
Yeah.
I wasn't
And
running
so,
away.
Sounds like you were running away.
He was running away. He kept it far. I had to go through a wall of dudes that had beams and good long range capabilities, while most of my dudes were close combat, right?
Mhm.
But and at one point I was gonna do something great. He activated these cards because when you play the game, you have the team tactical stuff. Look at him. You see that stupid face? See that stupid smile? That's why I hate him.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's these team tactical things that you could use. These cards, they're abilities that you could only use. Most of the time, you could only use once.
Yeah.
And it's either a reactive or inactive while you're the main character playing it.
Mhm.
He did a reactive one that said, I can't target any of his characters unless it's up close and personal with the space of a range of 2.
Okay.
So this is like a range of 2. You really have to be kissing up on the character to be able to attack them.
Yeah.
And most of my guys have pretty good abilities where they're long range. I couldn't do that for a whole round. On top of that, he played, I think, MODOK had this thing where he put himself in cover along with the characters in a range of him.
Okay.
So, and his defensive roles, he could just choose to make a blank or a miss into an actual defensive one.
Okay.
So, I was trying to attack, and I would hit my stuff. I would hit it, but he would barely get lucky to block most of the stuff. And even if he missed it, he could automatically block it. So that was one round where I was just trying to get as much damage as I could in, but it wasn't working. But at the same time, he could go as far as range as he wants and hit my guys.
Yeah.
And the first guy he hit was Sabretooth, right? Sabretooth has a healing factor of 1.
Okay.
he didn't get a chance to heal because he usually heals at the beginning of the next round or at the end of the round, right?
Okay.
Um, he goes against Kingpin and I believe Modoc or Green Goblin, and he gets done up dirties. He gets KO'd to his B side.
Okay.
Luckily, he took all his damage. He had up to like 14 superpower uh, little abilities on him
Mm.
that I could use as much as I want. So he has this thing where uh, turn 4 came up. I was like, you know what? Sabretooth is getting vengeance on Kingpin. Kingpin has like a defense or hit points of what, 10? 10 or 8?
I think it's like
What's
8.
he got? 8, right?
Mm.
But he also has this bullshit power that he could decide to like ignore one damage or something like that.
Okay.
And yeah, Sabretooth got mad. Sabretooth got even. Sabretooth, oh, Sabretooth. So using
It
the
took like
stupid
10
amount of power
fucking
I have,
energy to do it.
yeah, it took like 10 energy to do it. But he has an ability that allows him to use. He does whenever it hits or hits it on wild on the die.
Mhm.
I get to perform his first attack. But he also has a special thing called No Mercy. If I use like 3 superpowers points, he what was it? I think he adds rolls to the attack. Uh, the second attack done equal to the amount of damage that was done, and it could be up to like 3 dice or so.
Okay.
And then I could re-roll any attack dice. So I hit I hit Kingpin for about 5, and that's more than half his life, and he misses like 2 of them, and he has that bullshit thing uh, to cover up that.
Mhm.
So the second time came around, I rolled like 9, 8 dice for attack, and out of those 8, 2 of them were critical, and like 4 of them were hits.
Mhm.
So he was just like, "This is bullcrap." At the end of that one little turn
Mhm.
for Sabretooth, he straight up KO'd Kingpin. Like John was like, "No, why?" And the look on his face when he saw his Kingpin was the first one to go. It was great. I lost that match, but I won the high ground. The moral high ground. But it's really fun. It's cool that it's only 6 turns, so it's limited,
Mhm.
but those turns could take quite a while. Um, he didn't think I was gonna knock out most of his characters, and I left him down to 2 out of the 5, and that's because Loki kept on running like a bitch.
Sounds about right.
Eric fucking hated Loki, man. He was like, all right, I'm finally within range to hit Loki, and Loki's god of trickster.
Mhm.
So he gets to move when he gets targeted by an attack. So he would get just close enough to hit, and I would just dance out of the way.
He'd
Yeah.
moonwalk. He'd be like, dun 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 dun. Oh, can't touch me. I'd be like, that's MC Hammer, not Michael Jackson.
Hee
He's like,
hee.
I'm Loki. What do I care? But
So
yeah,
I'm actually looking at the Crisis Protocol stuff right now, and I guess I was wrong because the only dual pack that is like Thanos's helpers is it's Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight. So those are the only 2. But I did see at Heroes Retreat that they have Crystal and Lockjaw. They have the Storm and Cyclops,
yeah.
which are new. Yeah, those are
Mm,
new. Or those are I think those are the newest ones because I think I've seen the other ones. Oh no
they're a
no,
new word. No, no, no.
I was completely wrong. They have it's Black Dwarf and Ebony Maw. So there is those 2 packs of those of the Thanos bodyguard or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, is Black Dwarf the buff dude?
Yes.
Yeah.
So so like when it comes to like me making the Illuminati, I have to buy the core set, which is $100. Which I'll be completely honest, they had 2 copies of HR, and I was super tempted to buy it. Like I was really tempted to buy the core set because I know it comes with some terrain like the Daily Bugle and like 10 other models. So I was like, it's dope. It's a really good deal. It really is a great deal
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the set.
It's 2 full teams.
Yeah, and then it's you get terrain, you get like the actual rule book, which is
Yep.
something that you can't buy solo. You can download the rules online for free, so you don't have to pay for it. But if you actually wanted the rule book, it's the only way to get it. Um,
It, it'd be helpful because I would have to wait for John to look up what like special conditions like bleed, incinerate, and stuff was what they did and how they worked.
yeah, for sure. Like that's why I always tend to love like anytime I can get a physical rule book, just so I can thumb through it. But
Mm-hmm.
even like, I mean, if you did have like your iPad or like any tablet, you could probably download it on there and just reference it as quickly there if you did have it. Um, if I wanted to do it, I'd have to buy the core set. I'd have to buy the Black Bolt and Medusa. Um,
I
the
have seen the Stephen Strange figure
Yeah,
at uh, Alien Worlds on San Pedro.
okay, yeah, and
I
that's
think it
that's
was
the other one I would need. So it wouldn't
yeah,
be like,
I think
oh,
it was Stephen Strange and Wong.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'd have to get the Black Panther and Killmonger, so I can actually do like a 5 because I believe it's 5, right? Like the pet.
Which I
Well,
would go halvesies with you on that, and because Killmonger is a criminal syndicate.
okay, perfect. That's at least one thing out of the way. I have Bullseye and Daredevil. I was just buying it because I was like, oh, I like Daredevil, but I didn't. I wasn't interested in playing the game until a lot of people were telling me it's actually really good, and it's like a lot of people compare it to Hero Clicks on steroids, but I'm not too sure how accurate that is.
Decently accurate. I mean, phases wise, they don't really. Well, yeah. Think of it like you remember in HeroClix, you could move and take an action.
Hmm.
Same thing with Hero Protocol. You have the option of doing 2 moves or 2 actions
Hmm.
or an action and a move.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, like you remember the abilities like invulnerability, what was it? Impervious and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
They don't really they don't really come in this thing.
Hmm.
Uh, because I know there was a time where you could use like long range abilities
Hmm.
and it would skip over cover. Some heroes like like Taskmaster has that with his shield shot.
Hmm.
Uh, but other than that, they're not really called those same things. Like super fast movement or super speed,
Hmm.
that one allows you to move longer um, amounts before doing an action.
Nice.
Uh, that's not the case. There is a tactical ability that lets you do that
Hmm.
instead of because they do their movements small, medium, and large,
Hmm.
which I'm not sure it's the same thing as Warhammer.
No, no. I do know that
No.
that with that in particular, I know that's different. No, Warhammer has like a lot of them have set values already, so you just kind of move as it
Oh, okay.
says they are. Um,
Gotcha.
but yeah. I mean, I'm of course I'm a fucking nerd, and I'm more of a DC guy more than a Marvel guy. But there's no one I know that ever wants to play that DC game. First of all, the models are actually metal, so people don't like playing with metal models just because they're heavy and shit. And then I know that the rule book is actually super dense, and like not dense in a good way. It's just dense to be dense. So I can see how like no one's gonna play the DC version. But I'll paint those. I'll paint a lot of them. But when it
Because
comes to
Oh, I'm sorry. Did John tell you about the time we went to that Hebner
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
place?
yeah.
They had a couple of those DC characters.
Yeah,
You know
that's
how
how I
there's
was able to get. They sold the one that I actually wanted, which was like the big fucking uh Batman, where he's like kind of gliding down, and there's bats all around him, and he's like fucking like his cape is like in his hands, like doing the whole symbol and shit. Fucking sweet. But it was like $50, and I was like, I don't have money for that right now. Um, but I bought a little Sinestro because everybody knows I'm a whore for Sinestro, and then like a small Shazam, Captain
ah
Marvel. So I was able to buy those two at a discount because I think it was like the very first week that he had announced that I was there. I didn't know about it, but he was like, "Yeah, if
yeah.
you're interested in any of those, they're 40% off." I was like, "Oh shit, I can get something like fairly decent." And I was thinking, I was like, "Oh, maybe I could buy this, and this," but only ended up with two. So I'll just paint those just to have fun with them. But the Marvel ones are. I was checking out the sculpts, and the sculpts are pretty good. Like I didn't think they would be that good because I know that Asmodee, who's like the company for that, they're a big, like gigantic board game uh, company in Europe.
Yeah.
So like I was never confident in them like taking on like a bigger miniatures like that. But when I saw the Sabretooth and like saw some of the other ones, I was like, hey, these are actually pretty good. I like the way they look. So of course, have to like fill in some details with like, they don't have as many everything's kind of like of course like latex and shit. So I kind of want to make them more cloth like, so I'd have to do that with, you know, detailing with the, with painting. But I honestly am super interested in the game. Of course, I liked Hero Clicks when it was around, or not when it was around, like it went
He's
away.
still around when we first started at
But
Heroes.
exactly when we first started, when
Yeah.
we worked at Heroes of Fantasy, so I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
like it. I'm interested in this one, so I'll see. When I actually have the cash to buy the uh, the core set, because I know there's a few characters that I would want in there anyway.
One thing with this, I don't know the I think the core set's really really good to get because I think it also comes with the movement and range rulers that you need.
Yes. Hmm.
Like I said, because I know separately they're like $10, and then the dice are another like 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
And all you really need is like one set of dice to be able to play it, because nobody gets like crazy amounts of like, dice to roll for damage
Yeah,
or
yeah,
defense.
and that's the good thing about that. About the actual core set is that it comes with everything that you'll need for the game. I did want to ask, how big is the playing field?
4x4 for standard.
Okay, okay, cool. So you have a good amount of area, especially with like being a skirmish game. That's like a lot of room to move around. That was my only concern, is like how fucking small is this board? Because if you know Hero Clicks, it was like a fucking gridded board that was like a piece of
Yeah,
like as big as a piece of construction paper, like a long piece of construction paper. So it wasn't like a ton of room. I was just wondering like how it actually moves around there. So that's cool, cool,
funny you
cool.
say that. I know there's play mats for it,
Mm-hmm.
but we just kind of play on a table, like
Oh,
a
fucking
like a 6 foot table. We
yeah,
just unfold, and the way y'all do y'all Warhammer thing.
yeah, exactly.
Uh, which by the way, it's I know I'm part of that Red Star thing,
Mm-hmm.
and like the meme someone shared got me busting out laughing. Where it was just like Titanic, and Rose was laying down. It was like, paint me like one of your figures, and they just did the big old wonky eyes, dude. I lost my shit because I hate painting the eyes of my
Mm-hmm.
characters, because I always think like they're like, oh,
Yeah, they're always
and dude,
bug-eyed.
I saw that and I was just
Favorite
like,
one is
oh, that's fucking hilarious.
my favorite one is where they take the color, the pigmentation out of her skin, and it's paint
uh,
me like one of your toys. And on the next panel, she's still gray, and she's like, "It's been 3 years. Paint me."
Yeah, I think that speaks to John on on a soulful
Oh,
level because he doesn't paint shit.
I know, dude. It was funny. Painting's actually really, really fun, dude. The first time I got Magneto and Toad,
Mhm.
I had a different buddy of mine help me paint them, and I think we did like a 5 hour session, five
Nice.
or six.
Mhm.
So that Magneto was done by that day. I wasn't. I'm not sure how most people do it, but I kind of like want to get it done as fast as possible.
Mhm.
And details aren't. I don't get too specific on it
Mhm.
or too like anal about it,
Mhm.
as long as it looks good enough.
Yeah.
And
It does look
um,
good enough.
yeah, um, one thing I was trying to do, and I still haven't tried it since I bought it, was do the gloss on these figures
Mm.
to give them that plastic, like the Hero Click had that little plastic enamel type of look to them,
Mhm.
where it looked like the paint wouldn't scratch off.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do with these guys, but I'm still learning as I go.
Yeah. I
And
mean, it's easier to do with the airbrush. So like, whenever you're done like painting them, just let me know, and I'll just it takes fucking 5 minutes for me to gloss them down. Really, if you want like gloss or if you want a matte, I have those. If you want like a satin that's like in between, or it's like not
I'm
super
a whore
shiny.
for shiny.
All
I'm a
right,
whore for shiny,
all right.
bro.
So we'll just get you gloss.
Like
Don't even worry about it.
you should have seen how hard I struggled to get like a metallic purple
Mhm.
for Magneto's cape. I was just like, I gotta fucking find it.
Mhm.
I even used that acrylic one at Hobby Lobby. And I was just like, yeah, all right, I'll try that out.
Mhm.
It's like, fuck it. I already paid for it. I'm gonna paint it and see what fits and what I like.
I
Which
should.
is, another good thing about painting figures.
If you
You do.
if you're looking for like a metallic purple for anything,
Yeah.
go to Michaels. They have this brand. It's Dowler FW.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead and get that one. They have one that's I forget what it's like a lakeside purple or some shit. I have no idea what it's called, but it's actually a metallic purple ink. So it's an ink. First of all, inks are more glossy than regular paints altogether. So it's gonna be glossy like you like, and it's already a metallic purple that's probably better than almost any like GW metallic. It has like a smaller like flake, so it actually looks more. It looks better on like on a figure just because the flakes don't look too big on it. It looks like it's more suited for that scale. So might want to try
Mm,
that next time.
I think I'm gonna do that with like like I said, I'm getting Beast and Mystique,
Hmm.
and it's gonna be a mixture not just of like '90s Mystique,
Hmm.
but like kind of like the X-Men movie Mystique, where she
Okay.
had like that shiny skin to it.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do that with maybe like a white dry brush
Hmm.
to do highlights on her like arms and legs and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I'll probably check out that ink.
Yeah, the inks are really cool. They don't. They're a lot thinner, so like you don't have to like thin them down really. You can just use
So I'll
them
do the
like
water thing.
yeah. You don't have to like water them down at all. You can just like put it on your wet palette or your palette, whatever you're using. You should be good from there.
I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, yeah, fair enough. I'll see when I can hit you up with the Sabretooth so you can finish doing that purple hot pink. I
Yeah,
know I got that color.
yeah,
I got the colors. I just haven't
yeah,
tried it. I was like, nope, 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 nope.
yeah. I get it. Don't.
Because not just that, I forgot the process you told me, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna screw this up.
Yeah, it's just mixing some colors, and I know like you being a beginner hobbyist, like mixing colors kind of sounds like real fucking like complicated. It yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it can be if you're not like used to getting like the right mixtures and things like that. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool. No worries. That's why I'm here, bro.
There you go. I like to paint my colors like I like to paint my women's. Just glob it on. That's a sex joke.
It's a family show, Eric.
Is it?
Fuck no, nobody fucking anybody that listens to this is an asshole just like me and John.
There you go. I was like, it can't be a family show. John's in it. He's not
Yeah,
allowed around children.
yeah. Court order.
Court order. Look at him
He's just
in
salty.
his creepy lakeside.
his his lakeside shanty home.
Yeah, his shed.
All right. Well, I think that's enough ragging on John. So,
Man, it's not good
and
enough.
that's true. We'll rag on him in City. So if you want to hear more ribs on John, just fucking go listen to City.
Yeah.
But any other
So,
parting words before we get out of
I'm
here?
not there to defend myself.
No, no, fuck you.
yeah. Even if you were there, you wouldn't defend yourself. You
Yeah,
just take it.
yeah, like a whore
It's
you
like
are.
you let this little boys take it.
It's a little too dark.
Yes, he is. But we're
So,
still playing with him.
yeah, I know.
Parting words. I would say, Marvel Protocol. It's pretty good. It's pretty fun to play. The sprues on it, not too complicated.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Mhm.
Because I've seen some of the Warhammer sprues, and I was just like, nah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
This
yeah,
one,
for sure.
they're way smaller, just really simple. Uh, Pretty easy to paint, pretty easy to put together. Um, Not bad for beginners.
All right.
Yeah, as far as that goes for
Cool. Cool.
hobbying and stuff like that.
Nice.
But yeah,
All right,
it
man.
was good seeing you boys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. I'll see
Your
you.
boy Eric.
I'll see you in a little bit when we record City.
That's right. That's the thing. All right.
All right, later, guys.
Bye.
And we're back, guys. Hopefully, you did enjoy that. But now we're going to talk about what me and John have been doing. Again, he kind of mentioned that he was working on a 3K of Mechanicum. I'm working on 3K for Raven Guard, so we're just kind of going to go over those lists and kind of see what we think about them. And, oh, John,
Raven
what did I say? Raven Guard. Fucking shit. There's too many fucking ravens and too many deaths and like too many different things just all together. I'm sorry. Raven Wing, because it is one of the 6 wings of glorious battle for the First Legion. So yeah, I have 3K of Raven Wing that I'm working with. And if you want to send in some of your lists, you can always go ahead and send us an email. You can go to, I believe it's the Lost Chapter 00 at gmail.com. But description is in the link below, or wherever you listen, it'll be in the description of that as well. So go ahead and send us an email, or if you want to comment on YouTube down directly, you can always do that as well. But John, go ahead and take away with your Mechanicum 3K.
So me and Roman, since before COVID, we've been planning this campaign for 30K. And so we're gonna start like before the Civil War, where the Emperor is still trying to unify all the different planets and systems and stuff. And so I do have my Catachan, which I've talked about before, which is a lot of humans and a lot of tanks, um, just to signify, planets before they know what an Astartes is. And ever since I started taking an interest in Mechanicum and started reading some of the fluff, I found out that Mechanicum is actually pretty widespread um, before the Unification Wars. Is that what it is? The Unification Wars?
No, it would be the Great Crusade.
Unification Wars is just okay. Great Crusade.
Yeah, the Unification,
Wars is just Terra, right? Okay. So the Great Crusade, there's actually other Mechanicum worlds before they were all kind of unified under Mars. And so aside from my Catachan, which I'm using as just what are they called? The Imperial Guard before their Imperial Guard.
Oh, they're
just
militia.
Cult
militia.
Yeah. So I am starting a Mechanicum army. I have a little bit that I'm dedicating to the Imperium, but the majority of it is going to be Traitor, led by Anacharis Scoria. It's like the fucking basically the Primarch of Mechanicum, but he's a bad guy.
Scoria
So
is very good.
yeah, he's also a wicked cool fucking model.
Yeah.
So for right now, what I already have, and pretty much none of it's built yet, because it's all fresh off the boat. Um, so my list is a Magos Dominus, which is their version of a Psyker, which I think it's fucking great that they finally brought psychic activity into the Mechanicum. I have a Magos Prime, which is basically their Praetor or their Chapter Master. For elites, I have a couple of Damatar class battle automata. And then for my three troops choices, I have Capsulex class battle automata. I have two of those guys. It's 2 for 1 unit. And then I have 2 units of Thalax cohort, which is kind of like their basic troop. That's a robot because they have 2 basic troops. The the human what do you call them? Servitors.
Oh, okay.
And then there's the Thalax cohort, which is robots. So I have 2 units of the Thalax cohort. For fast attack, I have Vorox class battle automata, which is like the kind of hunched over crab guys. They're really fast. And then I have 2 of the Vodorax Stratos automata, which is their flyers that kind of look like they're Nurgle flybots.
Yeah.
And I was finally bit the bullet, and I got 2 of the Forge World Morax Knights, which Mechanicum can use as heavy support, which is fucking great. And then I have 1 Thanatar class Siege Automaton, which is just a big robot with a big fucking cannon sticking over his shoulder. And then for my Lord of War, which gets me up to 3,000 points, I have a Cerastus Knight after Rapper, what I've never gotten a chance to use. So now he's gonna finally see the tabletop.
Nice.
And that's my 3K list for Mechanicum.
Yeah, so like John was saying, for the little campaign that we're going to be doing, it's going to be a smaller game. And again, it'll grow in like size. I'll probably be using my Luna Wolves for that, or my Loyalist Sons of Horus, for that. But when it comes down to just like a 3K list, like I said, I'm going to be doing Ravenwing for my Dark Angels, and I don't have a Lord of War. I was debating whether or not I wanted to do a well, maybe I'll get to that when we get to that. But my 3K list is of course a Praetor, which is like, in 40K, like your chapter master. He is on a jet bike, a scimitar jet bike. I also have a Warmonger, which a Warmonger is uh, an upgrade that you can use for a Centurion, which is more like a captain, and they can go in a number of different ways. A lot of them are somewhere in the realm of like 25 to 35, but there are a few that go up higher than that. But a Warmonger, what he does is he gives the unit he is with deep strike, and he's gonna be on a outrider bike, the old school outrider scout bikes. So there's that, and then my third HQ is a Vigilator, which is another Centurion, but he is a sniper basically, and he has I believe it's the Auspex scanner. I believe he has the Auspex scanner. So those are my 3 HQs. I have 1 Elite's Choice, which is just an Apothecarian detachment, and that's just 2 Apothecaries that will be split up between 2 units. But I do have 2 units of jet bike Sky Hunters. They're 6-man, so 4 of them have heavy bolters with the molecular acid rounds, which I had some thoughts on whether or not I should use them. I definitely am going to use them just because they have Fleshbane. Now they're weak guns. They're still Strength 4 and AP 5 or 6. I can't remember right off the top of my head. But a low AP. Um, but they have Fleshbane, which means that they're always going to wound on choose against any non-vehicle type. So for anything that is just kind of infantry, if I do go against Jan's um, Mechanicum, it might tear through their Mechanicum just on AP alone. So just because like Mechanicum don't have great saves in terms of that, so it is something to keep in mind. Sometimes you don't want to pay those extra 20 points or what I think it's 20-25 points for molecular acid rounds. So sometimes you don't want to pay all that. And I think it's 25 for the 4 that I have. I want to say that it's something like I want to say it's 5 points, but even that doesn't. I think it's 20 points. Yeah, it's 20 points extra because they're 5 points each. But 2 of them have multi-meltas and 2 of them have Volkite, so it's 2 different units. Then I have an Outrider squadron, which is a 5-man, and they have Twinling Plasma, of course. And then I have 2 identical squadrons of reconnaissance squads. They're both 10-man. They both have camo. I forget what it's called, but it's basically a camo cloak, and sniper rifles. And they go in some cool fucking flyers. The Storm Eagles. I love the Storm Eagles. I always hear about them in the novels. It's kind of like their main transports to different worlds. So you always see them and like how they jink and like fucking like they're super mobile, even being like a bigger class of flyer. So they're 2 units with they're going to be riding. Oh, Storm Eagles are kind of cool. They have a 20-man capacity. So honestly, I could take 1 flyer if I wanted to, but of course I want to. And then it's Javelin Attack Speeder Squadron, which is going to be 3 of them, kitted out with las cannons. And then for my heavy support, and this is what I was debating on, and I'll tell you right now, but my heavy support is going to be a Fire Raptor gunship. And it's just going to be kind of base. It's not going to have like a lot of bells and whistles. It's going to be kind of just like the standard one. I mean, it has a quad heavy bolter, so like, come on, fucking 12 shots is. How can you sneeze at 12 shots? I'm gonna make you take some saves. Which law of averages, I'm gonna get like 6 or 7 hits or 6 or 7 wounds, and you'll probably fail like 2 or 3. So you're gonna you're gonna lose something. You know what I mean? So now my thing was I wanted a Lord of War because in a 3K game you want a Lord of War. The only problem is with the Raven Wing, which you have to use the Rite of War called the Seeker's Arrow. You can't have vehicles without the flyer keyword. You just can't. It's not allowed. It's one of the limitations. So I was debating whether or not I wanted to take a what is the suborbital strike squadron or whatever the hell, where you can take 3 different flyers. Well, it's a list of 4, and you can mix and match however you want. And of course, I love Xiphon Interceptor, so I was thinking about taking 3 of them and just having 3 of them, and then having a Storm Eagle because I can actually fit a Storm Eagle. So I can still technically do that, but there's something kind of a dick about taking 4 flyers. 3 flyers is already kind of tough enough to deal with if you don't have the proper weapons, because you have to have Skyfire to shoot at it, or else you're just not really going to do anything to it. So 3 is already kind of a max. If I was gonna take a fourth one, it'd be I'd be an asshole. And then I was thinking if I actually move it around and take away some things, I can actually put 5 flyers, which is ridiculous. In a 3K game with 5 flyers, it's kind of hard to deal with. Because I can kind of take out anything. Not saying that like I'll probably lose on the objectives, but I'm gonna kill everything on the battlefield. Like not everything, but I'm gonna take out a good chunk of your army. So like I think with my 30K list, I was able to kind of find a happy medium with some bodies I can throw on the field and some firepower from 3 flyers. It's kind of nothing to sneeze at. So um, we'll see how it actually turns out. I still have to buy quite a few different things for it, and it's a lot of money. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's my 3K Ravenwing. And like I said before, if you have any, if you want us to kind of look over your list and kind of tell you maybe something that you'd want, maybe that's something that you'd want us for us to look at, go ahead and send us an email. It'll be in the link below, or just if you have us on Facebook, put it in there, and boom, there you go. But is there anything else that you want to say before we wrap it up, John?
So shout out to Mark Ramirez, who recently got in contact with me. He is interested in 30K, so I'm gonna be having a learning game with him. Hopefully this coming week. I need to message him. I have 2 days off back to back, so hopefully we can get a learning game in for him. And I know he's interested in oh my God, what the fuck are they called?
Night Lords.
Light Lords, yeah, which is they have gorgeous models.
Yeah.
And 30K Forge World has been releasing some good stuff lately, and they did really good work with Night Lords.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he really does enjoy the game and starts playing. Him and his wife are both interested. I think she was interested in Space Wolves. They wanted to be on opposite sides of the Civil War, and I'll try not to hold it against her that she's a dirty corpse worshiper.
I mean,
Uh,
she's a fellow loyalist brother, which there's not many of us, so I'll take what I can get. But oof, do I not like Space Wolves? I just don't like them as a legion. They can be cool at times, but they end up being kind of one note for me. So I don't
you don't
necessarily
like Space Vikings?
No, I don't like Space Vikings that turn into where some of their genetic material ends up being werewolves. I don't like it. Uh, and I don't necessarily like Night Lords either. Me being a Dark Angels player, and oh, some good lore for you. It turns out in the Thramis Crusade, which is where the Dark Angels really, where the Night Lords were terrorizing the Thramis sector, and the Dark Angels came in and said, "Fuck that! You're not gonna fucking mess with the Emperor's fucking peoples." They basically took down their army because their army was somewhere in the realm of 90,000 to 120,000 legions, right? Like legionnaires. In the Thramis Crusade, they brought them down to 9 to 10. So they decimate, like the Night Lords that you now like know of in 40K are because the Dark Angels literally fucked them up, like destroyed them. So I love that. I fucking want to play Night Lords so badly, even though I think Night Lords might take me out because I don't know how to play this game. But it's gonna be awesome. Um, so yeah, I think that is it for this episode. Um, we still don't have a sign off, do we? See you in the warp. All right, bye guys.
Bye.